Hello, everybody. Welcome to Weighted to Win. As we move into the middle of April, time is absolutely flying. Champions Day not far away, and we go on to pick six time as far as the Turffontein meeting is concerned. And we'll have a look at the program with Daryn Burroughs, who joins us, and Darryl, Maree. Boys, thank you very much. Just to talk about last week, just for a moment, last weekend, your boys were informed it was just the one horse. Otherwise, we catch that pick six. We would have done pretty well with the bests and the value bets and everything else that lands.
Yeah, Clyde, funny enough, the pick six that was originally sent through by Daryn arrived. So a little bit of a bittersweet pill to swallow, because we made a few amendments and unfortunately we came unstuck. But that's behind us, and we look forward to tomorrow's meeting. Let's hope we bounce back and bounce back strongly.
Daryn, the card for Saturday. Since we record this on Friday night, you confident, Daryn?
Yes, you always got to be confident. Last week went well. Say When was the punt of the day. The guys followed 2-1 into 8-10, and she arrived in style. And the dark horse for the day was Mardi Gras, and a lot of people did have a bet. They got back to me and said they took some 33-1. So that was a good roughie for the day.
I know one of the owners got a number of pick sixes at Mardi Gras, so well done to them. Just as far as the meet goes tomorrow, jockey of the week right now, of the season, is Warren Kennedy. 5 smashing winners on Thursday. I managed to get hold of him. He was kind enough to phone me back, and when speaking to him, he thought that Eurocent was his best ride on the card, Warren Kennedy, but he also liked Ration My Passion from the Paul Peters stable. And he's also obviously looking forward to, he's made application to go abroad. He's not sure where he's going to ride just yet, but Hong Kong, Australia, and a few other places are probably engaging with him at the moment. And he is our champion jockey and riding extremely well. But those are the 2 rides he made reference to. And he also said to me he might be looking forward to riding Summer Pudding in the Premier's Champions Challenge. I didn't think she would run. I'm not sure if she still will run. Nobody knows, but he's hoping that she does. So that is quite interesting. It's going to be a great race.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if she stands her ground and lines up at the end of the month. I've got my doubts as to whether she will, but if she is up to the task and she's going to be taking on the likes of Got the Green Lights and Malmoose, it's going to make a fantastic race, and sleepless nights lay ahead, Clyde.
Absolutely, no question about that. Okay, well, let's have a look at the, if we may, at the betting for the, as far as this event is concerned, the pick six, if I can, with you, and just show that to you very quickly. Race number 4 on the card, and here number 7, Nebraska, is 5-2. Number 2, Herodotus, is at 7-2. 4, Stone Cold, is at 4-1. 8, The Contractor, is at 5-1. 6-1, number 3, Nordic Rebel, and 1, Category 4, is at 8-1, betting 10-1 and better about the others. Daryn, I'll start with you very quickly, and let's talk about the opening leg of the pick six. Is Nebraska good enough with Lyle Hurtson, Sean Terry, opening leg of the pick six, or do we need to cover?
We have played a couple of horses here. The only problem with Nebraska, I would have preferred him over 1,800, 2,000 meters. But if the pace is on, he's going to be running on. A horse like Herodotus, I also would have preferred 1,800, 2,000, and then I would have made him a good thing. But the mile, I'm not too sure if it's just a little bit sharp for him. But there were a couple of chances. Those would be my first 2 choices. Stone Cold, he runs handy. He's an up-and-coming 3-year-old. He's got a chance. The 7-year-old in the race, Nordic Rebel, from a good draw. He's never far back. And the Contractor trying the mile for the first time. You never know if he could stay or not.
Okay, so there are a few runners. Darryl, is your view the same?
Funny enough, I've started off with my value bet in the first leg of the pick six, and that's number 2, Herodotus. I'm willing to excuse his last run because Eurocent went to the front on that occasion, and he set a moderate gallop, and they sprinted for home, and he was flat-footed. So for me, I think he's a length or 2 better than that effort, and he's back in a handicap now, and you can see his ratings plummeted. I'm just hoping that they're able to make use of him from a good draw, because he is a little bit of a one-pace sort. But if they get him handy, he can certainly fend them off in the straight. The dangers, number 8, The Contractor. A year ago, he won his debut over 1450 on the inside track. So I don't believe, now that he's stronger and he's more matured, I don't believe the mile's going to be a stretch for him. I think he'll get the trip. And he was heavily supported last time out. He was obviously showing good work. You have to respect his chances. He was only a half a length behind the second horse because Royal Wolf absolutely trotted up on that occasion. And we've seen Valatoria and Ivalo's Prince win from that form line. So I do believe the first leg of the pick six lies between those two runners, but there are others with chances. Namras, Nordic Rebels, always thereabouts. But my value bets in the first leg of the pick six is Herodotus. I just hope he's able to go handy, and I believe he'll be able to just fend them off. And he's my value bets. I'll be shouting home in the first leg of the pick six.
Okay, well, Johan van Vieren has been in good form, hasn't he?
Absolutely. The stable's firing. And one thing you can be sure is this horse is going to be stripping fit and well, and you'll be ready to fire on the day.
Okay, let's go to race 5. Trend Masters at 5-2, number 1 on the card. 8 Irish Rain, 28-10, the second choice. 3 Governor's Glory is at 7-2. Number 6 on the card, Hachiwichi, is at 4-1. And the 5 Wakas is 7-1. And then 10's 10-1 about the other in the race. And Trend Master, top of the boards at 5-2 at this point in time. See, Lucky Udalak has been having a few winners too. Darryl, what's the take on the opening leg of the pot?
I think the betting, they've got the correct favorite over here, Clark. Trend Master, he ran a cracker last time out, and we saw he ran run up to Romeo's Magic, who subsequently came out and won a very impressive race in his next start. And he goes extremely well over this course and distance, does Trend Master. So from a good barrier position, he should more or less get the run of the race. He's racing fit. He'll be right there at the finish. Dangers, I'm just looking at the pace of here. You got the likes of Wakas and Governor's Glory, who like to race handy, and that sort of running style suits the inside track. So you have to respect their chances. And the roughie in the pack for me has to be number 7, Midnight Caller. I think I'm willing to excuse his 2 runs in the Derby trial in the Derby. I've got my doubts whether he stays those trips. And I'm expecting him to bounce back to some sort of form now that he reverts to a mile. So he's my roughie in the pack. I do believe Trend Master's the one to beat. The second favorite, Irish Rain, is unbeaten as a gelding, but he did beat the blind school. But in saying that, he did it very comfortably and he was never in doubt. So it is a wide open race. Trend Master, my first pick, and then Midnight Caller, my roughie in the pack.
Okay, Midnight Caller for Waya Mowing and Ryan Magner, not in the betting. As you can see, Daryn, do you make it open too, or what's your take here?
No, well, I believe Trend Master is the horse to beat. On his last 2 starts, he was unlucky not to win. And from a 1 draw, he is going to have the run of the race. Course and distance, he's won 2 from 4 starts, and he will be the horse to beat. Others to consider, Governor's Glory. He goes to the front, and he's hard to peg back. He found his form in his last 2 starts, and he should be very competitive. And then Wakas. Now, if you look at his last 10 starts, I only think he's cracked a draw once. And he ran, that was 1.5 lengths off Storm Commander, 3 runs back. Yeah. He cracks a draw again, 1.5 kilo claim. I think 7-1 about Wakas is the value in the race. And Midnight Caller, who's dropped in the ratings, drops in trip, should be competitive. Irish Rain, we have included into the pick 6, but he did beat a very weak field, and he's got to confirm that run.
Okay, so you make the favourite the one to beat, but we'll add those that you've made reference to. So there are a handful of runners that have got to go into the pick 6. Where, as we go on to race number 6 on the card, let's move to that quickly. And they bet 5-2 about number 5, Euro Cent. That's the latest as far as the market goes. You heard what Warren had to say. And Paul Peter, the Paul Peter stable, they've been in great form too. 5-2 favourite. 9 Contral is 7-2. 2 Tight 5 is 4-1. 4 Mohican 5-1. 8-1 number 3 Fire Flower, and the 6 Imperial Duke is currently at 8-1, and their betting are about 10-1 and better the others. It's a 1,500 meter race. This is on a 7-meter spur on the inside track at Turffontein. So tighter course, swing for home around 7 meters. And it's a 1,500 meter graduation plate. So, Darryl, back to you. Open again or not?
On ratings, Clyde, it should actually be a 1-horse race because Eurocent ran in a plated race last time out, and he ran to a rating of 95, which brings him 8.5 kilos well into this handicap debut. So on
why
that,
have you gone so wide open? Yeah, why have we going?
On paper, it should be a one-horse race. But Clark, let me touch, like I touched on it previously. In his last start, he slowed them down and he sprinted for home. I do believe he ran above expectations and above his rating due to the fact of how the race panned out. And yeah, we got the likely pace setter in Fire Flower. So I don't think Eurocent's going to get his own way up front. But one thing you do know is the champion jockey, Warren Kennedy, can certainly place the runner extremely well, and he's going to be given every chance. So he is making his handicap debut. He is in with a solid shot. The horse I'm looking for an upset over here is the 6 Imperial Duke. Now, I'm willing to excuse his last starts up the straights. I think he's a better horse around the bend, and in his penultimate start, I do believe that was a trip too far for him at this stage of his career. I think if you back off the inside track of the 1,500 meters, I think we're going to see the best of him. I think he's got ability and he could still be ahead of the handicapper. I think those two are the ones to focus on over here, but there are several with other chances, especially the likes of number 8, C Ways. You can see he's having his third run off the layoff. His rating has plummeted and he gets some weight allowance from the apprentice in the saddle. So my only concern with him is he tends to lose a length or two at the start. But if he's able to get into the race with that weight to shoulder, he could well be the joke in the pack. Those are the 3 I'm focusing over here, but it doesn't lie over there because I know one of the others that I haven't touched on happens to be Daryn's first pick.
Okay, we'll see ways at any price that you like. Daryn, you say Darryl said your first choice we haven't touched on. What is that?
My first choice is actually Seaways.
Oh, okay.
I think he is the dark horse on the card. Last week was Mardi Gras. This week, I think Seaways. He does jump a little bit slow, but the pace is going to be on. And if he's turning for home around 6 lengths off the leader, off a good pace, I think he's going to be mowing them down. His ratings dropped 7 points. He claims 2.5 kilos. Good draw. I don't think the draw really matters because he'll be towards the back end of the field. And I think he'll be coming with a good late run. So Seaways is my narrow first choice and the value at around 16 to 1. Contrail with 49 kilos on his back. I think off his rating, I think he will be competitive. He will be running on late. Others to consider, Eurocent, very good last run, but he's got to confirm that run. If you go on his previous form, it was very average. So Eurocent on his last run, but that was a small field. So I think he got maybe a bit closer than he should have. Mohican, you can't ignore, and Tight 5. But Tight 5 has got 59 minus 1.5 kilos, has a chance to run in the money.
Okay, so we won't certainly leave that out. So there are quite a few. So there's some good value in the race as far as that is concerned. The 6th race, maybe a bit of money can be made out there as we go on to the 7th race and have a look at the market there where Winter Smoke is top of the boards, and that is at 16 to 10. 3 Thumbs Up is at 2 to 1. 4 Rapid Fire is 5 to 1. 6 Frosted Steel is trading at 6 to 1. And number 2 In the Dance is 7 to 1. And then double figures naturally about everything else. So Interbet has got Winter Smoke at 16 to 10. So she's in a progress plate, and as far as the plated races go, she runs off a 108. She's got a 61 on her back. So as far as ratings and best weighted horses are concerned, she certainly is. I was fortunate enough to speak to Andrew Fortune, who helps out with the yard, and just asked him a little bit about her. Her main ambition or her main focus right now is for the big fillies race on the 9th of May, I think it is, in KwaZulu-Natal. But from the way he explained it to me is that she really only has to be 80 or 90% to win here. So Daryn, in Andrew Fortune's opinion, she only has to be that fit, because there's not really that much in the race that he's of the view that can take her down. And I think between the 3 of us, we're of the same opinion. Yes,
we have chosen to bank her in the pick 6. I do believe that she's the best horse in the race. At the weights, I couldn't find any dangers to come close to her. I think the course is going to suit from a good draw. If she's a length or 2 off the pace, they usually go fast over the 1200 on the inside track. I think she will prove just too too classy for this field. And we have taken a banker, and I think we should include her into some doubles and trebles for the day. So Winter Smoke for me, I don't really have a backup horse or a danger, so I'll only mention that one.
So then, Darryl, is the 16 to 10 good? Is that a good price to be taking about her then?
But I don't believe she'll shorten much in the market. I think she'll trade that race time. So if you want to, you could possibly watch her canter down to the start to then make your decision. But on paper and on weight, she's certainly the one to beat. And I think her running style will suit this inside track. That was a cracking effort last time out up the straight. She had the worst draw on that occasion. And, excuse me. And we saw Tropic Sun and All of Me come out to win. Tropic Sun followed that up, and All of Me also won next time out. So the form has been franked. She's got a lot of ability, this filly, and I think she's most certainly the one to beat. If you're looking for exactors and one to float in the trifecta, number 2 in the dance, she's second highest rated in this race. She jumps from barrier position number 1, so she should be a little bit closer than usual. And she has run to some decent sorts in the past. Just having a look, Ronnie's Candy, Barrahen Charms, Celtic Sea, it's all in her form line. So she hasn't been bumping slouches. She's been bumping some decent sorts in the past, but I don't believe the inside track over 1200. I don't believe she'll have the pace to run down a Winter Smoke. So she's my backup in exactors, but I'm going in all in with Winter Smoke. I think her class will certainly pull her through.
And so say we all. Okay, let's go on to the 8th race. Number 5, Full Velocity, is the 16 to 10 favorite. 2, Crown Guardian is 5 to 1. 3, Written in Stone is 5 to 1. 11 to 2, number 7, Inherit the Rain. Donny G is at 6 to 1. And then number 4 on the card, Severescent is at 17 to 2, 10 to 1, and better about the others. I'll come back to you, Daryn, and talk about this horse, Full Velocity, for Sean Terry and Lyle Hewitson. I mean, if you look at her form, she's done absolutely nothing wrong from her 3 starts, having 1 first time round and 2 solid runner-ups in her next 2 starts.
Yes, Full Velocity. Clyde. Sorry, go ahead, Darryl.
Okay, Darryl, you go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, Full Velocity, like you touched on, she is a filly over here, Clyde, and she's taking on the Colts and Geldings, so she's in open company, and she has picked up 3 pounds for 2 seconds. So she's certainly on the upgrade, and she's got ability. Last time out, I think Alec Laird's filly caught her a little bit unawares. Samanga flew up on the outside running rail and possibly caught her a little bit unaware. So she's certainly going to be well positioned from stallgate number 1, but she is taking on the Colts and Geldings, so you have to respect that fact. The horse I'm looking for a little bit of upset over here, Clyde, and he has won, and he won extremely well over the course and distance. That is Rock of Africa. He's well positioned. He should be well positioned. I hope he can just follow and get a nice toe through from Full Velocity, and I would be shocked to see him run her down. So for me, the race lies between those 2, but the likes of Written in Stone isn't far off. Rock of Africa must be included, and there's 1 or 2 others that we've thrown into the pick 6. So it isn't cut and dry for Full Velocity. We're looking for a little bit of a result over here in this leg.
Okay, well, what price is this horse number 1, Rock of Africa? I've got her double figures.
Yeah, he's double figures. So it will be a great pick 6 result if he manages to run down the favorite in the latter stages of this race.
Okay, and Erico Verdenez, he's been okay with his running his yard and running winners.
Yeah, he had a winner on Thursday for Mr. Fine Maynard. He's also, as always, running there and thereabouts. He doesn't have the most of runners, but when he does step them out, you know that he'll be including them into his quartets, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay. Daryn, sorry, you were going to go, but tell us about the final leg of the jackpot. Is she good enough for the boys? I mean, can she run them over, or is this open? Full Velocity.
We're looking to beat her in the pick 6, to be honest. Her 2 comeback runs after a win on debut, she hasn't taken on the strongest of fields, and she's taken on fillies like here the Trumpet and Emerald Crest. She does step up in class. So we are looking to beat her. She's got every chance of winning. She could be progressive, but other horses to consider: Rock of Africa, like Darryl touched on, loves a course and distance from a good draw. Crown Guardian, He won 4 in a row and then ran 6 lengths off Royal Wolf in a very strong race. And from a good enough draw, I think he'll be competitive. And the Bar and Burroughs stable are in form.
Yeah.
Written in Stone, I'm waiting for his rating to drop a little bit more, but he will be competitive. And then we've thrown in Severescent. I know he has a bad draw of 9, but he's only had the 1 run after the gelding where he ran 5.5 lengths of Crown Guardian. And I think he showed ability early. I think we haven't seen the best of him yet. So we have thrown in Severescent as well.
Okay, so Severescent has to go into the play as far as this event is concerned. That being the final leg of the jackpots. Am I right, boys? I mean, we can always add those horses in and take jackpot covers as well, right?
That's it.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the final leg of the pick 6, which is race number 9 on the card, and Gilboa's top of the boards, and certainly got to have a chance at 33-10. Warren did also mention that he gave him a chance, Gilboa. Number 5, Putin's Promise is at 7-2 as the second choice. 3, Certifiable is currently at 5-1. That's one of the St. John Grey runners. Then you've got the 7 horse Blue Spark at 6-1, and the 4 Harry Secret, who is trading at 8-1. So St. John Grey with a hand here. He's got both the second and the third favourites. Daryn, I'll come to Daryn Burroughs now. Certifiable and Putin's Promise, he's got them both. But he doesn't hold, well, he almost does hold top of the boards. Gilboa is marginally favourite.
For me, Putin's Promise, what he needed was the blinkers. I found that he used to sit too far back and do late work and get into the race too late. The blinkers sharpened him up, and I like the fact that they've dropped him back to 1,200 meters. From a 1 draw, I think he's going to sit a few lengths off the leader and pounce at the right time. His ratings dropped nicely to a handy mark of 71. So my value on the card is Putin's Promise. The main danger I make is his stablemate Certifiable, who's also dropping down to a handy mark in the ratings, and he is course and distance suited. So I think it's between those two. We have gone those two in the pick 6. Horses like Gilboa, it is his second run after a long rest, which he may go flat. And he only just hung on to win his maiden in a weaker field. So for me, Putin's Promise, the value on the card. And then I'll get back to my best bet a bit later in the show.
Okay, well, we look forward to those. Let's ask Darryl. Darryl, do you see it the same way with the St. John horses fighting this out?
Absolutely, Clyde. I think Putin's Promise, the key for him is the dropping trip. I think that mile just possibly fought him out last time. But I don't discount number 3, Certifiable's chances, because the blinkers go back on him, and you can see who's aboard him now. Lyle Hewitson. Lyle Hewitson won on him in his latest victory, and then I think he ran 3rd behind MK's Pride, so he certainly gets the best out of this son of Sarge. And I like the fact that his rating is now below the rating that he won his latest start of.
Yeah.
I think he won off a 76. He's now dropped to a 73. So I think he'll be very, very competitive off this mark. I think the 2 St. John runners will fight out the last leg with a pick 6, and I'm very confident, Clyde. I'm telling the waiter to win viewers over here, double floating the trifecta, take the swingers, take a few exactors, double floating the quartets. I think you'll be in the pound seats at just after 5:05.
Okay, so you boys are sounding really confident about the card on Saturday. We're all looking really very forward to it. I must just tell you, I think that's good news. Daryn said that we'll go through the best bets and all of the rest of it. So let's put that the famous slide up in terms of the pick 6 very quickly, and we'll have a look right now at your 1,800 Rand perm. In the first leg, you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 by 1, 3, 5, 7, 8 by 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. We're bankering the 1 Winter Smoke in the 7th race. That's what we've decided. Second last leg, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're of the view that St. John Grey will fight out the last with 3 and 5. As far as the bipot is concerned, we'll talk about that. It's a 96 Rand perm. And in this event, we've got the first leg 1 and 2, by 2 and 7, by 2 and 4, by 1, 3, 5, by 5, 6, 8, 9. And the last leg, we're bankering the 1. We're depending on that to win. So 1, 2, 2, 7, 2, 4, 1, 3, 5, 5, 6, 8, 9 by banker 1. Daryn, let's cross to you now, because I know that we talk about the best bet comes up in the second race. But you did say to me earlier, you're quite excited about races 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, Clyde, I do believe that the best bet on the card is Master Supreme. His rating has tumbled from 100 down to a 78. His last two starts were over a mile and 1400. He was caught for speed and he just couldn't get into the race. The 1800-meter trip, he's won over course and distance. I think this is his best trip. He's even placed second in a 103 handicap over 1800 meters. And I believe from a good draw in a graduation handicap, he's going to take a ton of beating. So around 3-1, Master Supreme is going to be the best bet on the card. Let me touch on race 1. This filly Illuminate. She recently joined the Wire Mowing stable. Yeah. And I did tip her as my value bet last time out. She ran third, paying £3 a place.
Correct.
She traveled 3 wide around the bend and into the straight. I thought she would find nothing after that, and she still ran on for third. But she is 4 kilos worse off with Veracana on that run. So those are my first 2 choices in the first. Okay. But let me touch on race 3. Bold. Let me just get there. Bold Fortune. Now, this filly, if you watch the replay of her last start, she was trapped out deep all the way around the bend and into the straight. And I was actually surprised that she still stayed on for 4th, right behind the leaders. I think from a good enough draw, Bold Fortune, if she can get one off the fence, there's a lot of form in this race behind Making a Scene, a length between them. And I think Bold Fortune has the edge. So small punters, big punters, take a little double Master Supreme into Bold Fortune. You get around 20-1. You can't get hurt at that price. My value bet on the card, Putin's Promise, 7-2 in race 9. I think the drop back to 1200 meters is what he's looking for, and he only has his stable mate certifiable to worry about.
Okay, excellent. And as you said, if the guys want to start as early as race 1, you've made reference to numbers 2 and 6. All right, thank you, Daryn, for that wrap. Let's go to Darryl now. Darryl, I see you're sticking with the value on the day, and that comes up in the first leg of the pick 6.
Yeah, from my side, once again, Clyde, it's short and sweet. I think Herodotus is the value bets on the card. I think now that he's back in a handicap, some are going to say, well, he's been fairly disappointing in his career. But now I believe that he's back in a handicap and off his current mark. I think he'll take some beating. And I just hope that he gets a little bit of confidence behind him, because he's not the sort that would surprise me if he's stacked up 2 or 3 in a row. So off this rating, let's go with Herodotus. I just hope he's handy, or if not, in front.
Okay, well, some good prices, good value on the day overall, guys. Thanks very much. A reminder to our viewers to watch us every Friday night. We come to you for the Saturday race meeting. This hopefully will become your play of the day. Weighted to Win is always, of course, on YouTube. And we thank you very much. Our viewers growing all the while. We appreciate everybody continuing to watch. We really do. And we trust that you've enjoyed this Saturday preview. Thanks very much, guys. Trust it's going to be a good one for everyone. Goodbye to all.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.